Hi, my name is Mitra Manesh. I'm a servant. I serve through teaching, coaching, consulting, or any other way that I can find to share what I know with those who want to know. And this Lights On podcast is one of those ways. It was created with consciousness and mindful living in heart. So join us as we travel through many roads of learning and transformation together. And if you enjoy our podcast, please give us feedback by rating us 5-star and share us with others if you think they may benefit from it. On behalf of my team, I thank you for your presence. This episode is about one of our most common habits as human beings, and that is to take a trip to the past and come back unhappier than when we left. Somebody asked a question in one of my classes and asked, why do we think so much about the past? And I went into an explanation that may not be very scientific, but it's extremely practical and true to my experience as a mindfulness coach and as a practitioner of almost 40 years. There are many reasons we go to the past, but what is really important is to understand why we go, and more importantly, how can we go there but come back with a much better souvenirs than we normally do? Because going to the past on its own is not a problem. The problem is that we go to say, oh, how bad we had it, and or how good it was, and it's no longer that good. And if we only go to the past with a different kind of attention, awareness, and consciousness, we can actually benefit from that trip and bring a lot of great souvenirs along with us. Let's take a listen together.
So we talk about the past and we think about the past. Why do you think we think about the past so much? I know if we say it out loud, it may sound a little bit unreasonable, so we don't say it. But when we're thinking about the past, we almost have a hidden belief that nobody will admit out loud, that if we go back there long enough and frequently enough, we may change it somehow. And that's one of the not conscious reasons we go. And the other reason, and these are all just observing people for 36 years. And the other reason is almost like there is somebody listening. If I really complain, they may come my way and they may change something for me. None of this are scientific, what I'm telling you. These are just observational, that I have observed people think about the past. They think because they have a hidden belief that something may change. If I just think about it, or if I just tell people how bad I had it, or how good I had it, and I need to have it again. I remember a person who had lost a loved one, which was a very, very challenging experience especially for this particular person. She kept saying, but you don't know how much I loved him. And I thought, okay, first week I understood, first month I understood, first year I understood. And then one day I thought, somebody needs to let this person, that just because you love somebody, that's not a protection from death. I don't know how to tell this person that just about everybody is loved by somebody. So nobody should die based on that formula. But I loved him. But I wanted this. But you don't know how bad it was. So these are the statements that I hear. So I conclude from those statements that I hear that I always look at the belief behind anything that I hear it in a like day in, day out, when there's a pattern to something. I always say, what belief causes me to say and think, basically when you're saying, you're thinking it, to think this way. And the belief behind that is that let me just tell Mitra how bad it is. Let me also tell other people how bad it is, so they will go and basically verify this information to I don't know where. So I'm saying this because once you shed light on these hidden beliefs, then you can become far more practical with why you're going to the past. We either lamenting or desiring, lamenting that which we didn't have, or lamenting that which we did have and we no longer have it. So we're just saying, I want it again. So is the past good for nothing? No, past is very important, but only good for one thing. And that is a different L. Instead of lamenting, we need to learn. It informs us. It can teach us. It can tell us about us. It can say what my desires are. What do I want? What do I enjoy? What do I not want? So if we go to the past and we go with a very specific question, the past can actually assist and help the now. But when I go with no intention, I will be just floating in the past. So I always talk about like visa. You've probably heard me say that you go to the past with the visitor's visa. And the reason I call it visitor's visa is because, first of all, it expires. If I have a visa, if you have ever gone to a country that requires a visitor's visa, they usually have a date on it. You can't just go for forever and stay there. And when I go with that, and there is a deadline, and I need to get out by such and such date or time, then somehow I have some boundaries. But there's another question when I go to this country called past. What do? Do I have an itinerary? Do I know what I'm doing there? Just like if I went to a foreign city with no time to come back and no particular thing to do and no knowledge of what to do there, I'll probably come back and you say, Mitra, how was, such and such city? I said, it was horrible. I just didn't know. I didn't do anything. And there was I didn't have any connection. There was no good time because I didn't have any particular intention or purpose for my trip. Going to the past is the same thing. Go with a deadline for your visitor's visa. Know that it needs to expire. And 2, know that you need to have an intention, an itinerary for this trip. And that is, tell me what you need to tell me. My dear past, I did a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I did a lot of things that I could have done differently. I didn't do a lot of things that would have been nice to do. And there are things that I did that I want to repeat again. It really worked for me. Like I want to copy and paste them to now. So that's the question. Tell me, inform me, my dear past, of things that I need to know about myself, about my life, about people in my life, and about the world I live in. So that's the way we go to the past.
Hope this episode answered the question or two for you, or provoked and inspired questions in you. I'm so grateful you showed up and listened up. Until the next time, be well and stay curious.